And hello, everybody. Welcome back to Anime Church, the only church where cosplay is not only encouraged, but highly recommended. I am Richie Roberts, your Minister of Science and Technology.
I am Moonlight Sparks, son of a bitch. Your Minister of Arceology. Praise Arceus.
The one time that the mic is actually working
Pardon.
properly this time, it catches you saying son of a bitch. I have the audio working
That's
properly
because
for once.
And I am Fenris Arden, your patron saint of Snackos.
Yee. Alrighty. I was gonna jump right into it, but man, we got a lot. All right. Here's the thing. We've got links upon links upon links upon links for our final topic that we're talking about today. But we're not going to go over everything that was talked about in these topics. We just have it there for reference to be like, hey, we sourced everything that we're going to talk about. Obviously from the title, yes, we're going to talk about the Selen, Tatsuki, NijiSanji, En thing. We can't avoid it. It's all over the place. Like, it's part of nerd culture now. Whether you like it or not, VTubing is a big part of nerd culture. And so, yes, it is part of nerding.
And the other culture you were just mentioning.
Nude culture?
I mean, Mel's still upset that there's no doujinshi of her.
Oh, well, I mean...
How is there not?
I don't know.
We can make it, you know. FhatDogStudios. We will make VTuber porn. Why not? Just joking, guys. We won't do that.
Well, she technically already does that, but...
Yeah, she already makes that. I don't think we have the time or the talent to make doujinshi right now. Anyway, I know that if we're just talking about
figures.
Great. I know that if we're talking about
that would work, you know.
I know that if we're talking about V Shoujo talent, I think let's see what's his name? The one male VTuber in V Shoujo. Keinan Kuro, yes. He did a face reveal recently. Like very, very recently. Yeah. So that happened. We will talk about that, but that's going to be at the end of the show. We're going to start off kind of happy. We're going to do our review of episode 6 of the most recent episode, the episode that came out yesterday of Solo Leveling. If you have not seen it, spoiler alert is up. It's up. It's active. So if you haven't seen it, just letting you know, guys, we're going to be talking about this. When we're done talking about it, you'll know because spoiler alert will go away like that. So we're going to talk about episode 6. We're going to riff on it. But yeah, we're going to do that. We've got a bunch of different topics to talk about. As always, links to all of the things we're talking about are down in the description. Of course, except for Solo Leveling because we're just reviewing it. It's on Crunchyroll, guys. If you want to watch it, check it out.
Go watch it.
Go check it out, Crunchyroll. And we will be up next week to hopefully have everybody together so we can actually do the readings for Solo Leveling.
Woo!
Yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I extended the auditions out another week. Didn't get any new auditions.
Come on.
Yeah. No, nothing. Nada. So I was just like, all right, screw it. Yeah. I've come to the realization that the problem is me. I'm the problem here. I am the common denominator. Yep, it must be me. If it was anybody else, they'd have people out there. Of course, also I'm not
work with?
I'm also not doing public auditions. That's the other thing. I'm like, no, because I know better. I know better. I have been burned too many times to do public auditions. And that's the other half.
Last time you had public auditions, you got me.
No, I think the last time we did public auditions, he got me.
It was both of us. That was it.
I don't think that was necessarily public. Was that technically public?
It was public.
It was public. It was on YouTube.
It was.
Okay. Yeah.
I had to send it from my voice acting email.
Yep.
Jesus, that was public. All right. Wow. I find people, man. Sometimes I find people.
Not
But-
always the greatest people,
but-
people.
All right, here's my thing. Out of typically 5% of the auditions that I get, out of all the auditions that I get, are worthwhile. And when I say worthwhile, I mean recorded on a decent quality mic in a setting that is a good recording space and by people who know how to follow instructions. That's it. 5% does that. Everything else is a fucking nightmare. And I'm done trying to wade through nightmare fuel. I'm just done. If you can't do basic stuff like, okay, first off, if you don't even have like a Yeti as like your bare minimum recording mic, what are you doing? No. Don't try and audition over your cell phone. First off, don't do that. Please stop. Stop
I don't
it.
care what kind of phone
Get
you
some
have.
help.
It's not good.
All right, anyway, Solo Leveling. Let's talk about it. They added some extra bits to this episode because yeah, the whole thing with the president and his his sparring match and his escort in the car, that didn't happen.
That happened later in the
cool, though.
manhwa.
Sort of, kind of, sort of. Here's my thing. They're padding this episode out, and that kind of pissed me off. And the only reason it pissed me off is because I know what was coming up because I'm a manga reader, and I'm like, I was really looking forward to what was gonna happen, and I'm like, why are you showing me this? I want to see this. Like, God damn it! Got interrupted two or three times. And I'm just like, get on with it already. Like, fucking, come
Get
on.
on with it.
Get on with it. When they did get on with it, it was good. But yeah, those two things they added on to it. And then there was the meeting with the three girls at the cafe who are relevant later, but like, it's so, here's the thing that they're relevant for later isn't even in season 1. So why are you teeing it up now?
Unless
Why are
they're
you
confident
teeing
they're
it
going to
up?
have it. Unless they're confident they're going to have a season 2.
Here's the thing, unless they're my thing is, unless season 1 is 24 episodes, you're not doing it. If season 1 is just 12 episodes, you're not doing this in season 1. Why are you even teeing this up? But whatever, the anime can do its own thing. It's just more annoying. It's just more annoying. I'm glad that I watch it by myself before I do the watch-alongs with you guys, because I can just be like, skip. And then I go back and I rewatch, because I've had the satisfaction of watching the parts I was here for. And then I'm like, all right, now I'm getting this extra story stuff. Oh, that's neat. I don't care, but it's neat, you know? It's extra padding, but it's not so bad that I'm like, shit, this feels like filler. It's teeing up things that are to come that are also kind of cool. So in a way, I see what you're doing. You know, I'm pointing out, I'm like, yeah, but
Looking like a bit of foreshadowing there.
also they're trying to give us time with other characters that we don't get a lot of time with, like the president.
Yeah. Which is disappointing because the president is a fantastic character.
Great character. And I'm happy we get more time
cool.
with him. But yeah, this episode needed to get to what it was supposed to do. And I mean, it did deliver.
It was so much fun.
It was when it got to the fun parts.
When it got to the fun parts, I was there for it. The spider bit, I guess the downside of the anime is that it felt like it took too long for him to kill the spider in the anime versus the manhwa. Like, the manhwa felt like it, but they did do frames from the manhwa that felt like exactly like the artistic style of the manhwa, which is what made the manhwa so cool. Is because if you break it down, Solo Leveling is like your basic power fantasy, your power scaling fantasy. What separates it from everything else is like how ungodly beautiful the art is. the art in Solo Leveling is what separates it, really, if I'm being 100% there. Whereas with T-Bait, I'm making this comparison because a lot of people compare T-Bait with Solo Leveling. The world of the beginning after the end, or T-Bait, is rich and complicated and everything, and you can get and maybe this is because I haven't read the light novel for Solo Leveling, and I should probably get those eventually, and I'll be able to compare, do apples to apples. But with T-Bait, I've got the comics for that, and I've got the manga for Solo Leveling, and the comics for T-Bait are not as good visually as Solo Leveling. Like, Solo Leveling's art is just, it's crisp. But, well, I mean, in the beginning especially, T-Bait's not that great, but like as it gets later and later, T-Bait gets better. But the world and like the rules and everything that T-Bait inhabits, it's kind of like if you took the best elements of Mushoku Tensei and you took the best elements of Solo Leveling and you kind of sprinkled them together in a fantasy isekai setting. That's kind of the beginning after the end. That's T-Bait for you in a way. So if you like those two shows, you'll definitely enjoy that. But yeah, the art style for this, we got one still where Jinwoo just is like kind of holding a pose and he's got that one eye just kind of glowing and everything. And I'm like, that's a manhwa panel right there. I remember that panel of the manhwa and that looks so good. But like you can see there's movement there. It's animated. And I'm like, they animated the manhwa. This is everything I wanted,
Also, I don't know, like, I understand wanting the spider thing to be a little shorter because A, padding, and B, it makes him seem all the more stronger. But I think with how long it felt in the anime, it felt kind of justifiable because he had to sit there and be like, okay, his armor's fucking strong as shit. I need to figure out a different way to kill him.
I don't remember the spider being that tough in the manhwa, though.
It was.
The spider was actually that tough in the manhwa?
It was his first actual like dungeon boss fight that wasn't the secret dungeon.
Gotcha.
Which makes sense.
And yeah. And the fact that he slept on his rewards for clearing all of the daily quests really did save him in the
okay,
I
see,
love
here's the thing. That's the part I couldn't remember correctly. I couldn't remember if he got rid of his fatigue during the fight with the spider, or if he did it like when he was about to go slaughter the hunter team, or not.
No, it was during the spider fight, just like the anime.
Dude,
it was.
I gotta say, I really enjoyed the second half though when the hunter team showed up, and like I was waiting for that moment of where the dude put his arm around him and was all like cocky and stuff. I was like, how are they gonna do this? How are they gonna do this? Because I remember the manhwa, like. All right, guys, again, this was a scene that I had to go through and find characters' lines and stuff for, because I had to go through this for the auditions. So this was a scene that I had to, like, sweep through meticulously. So I'm very, very familiar with this. And
speaking of, now that I got to see that and kind of hear how it was going, I'm like,
yeah,
I should have recorded that different.
No, hey, I'm not asked. Here's my thing. When I had you do this, I didn't know what it was going to sound like in the anime either. I had my own thoughts. And here's my thing. Still in my head, how I want you guys to do this in the manhwa is I want you to portray it differently than how they did it in the anime too. I want it to be different. Like, first and foremost.
It was the situation where it was happening and how he was saying it that I'm like, I should have said it differently.
How Jinwoo was doing things?
Decently calm. Yeah.
No, I wanted you to be calm.
Decently calm, and I was like, fair enough. But like, it needed to have that edge to it that I don't feel like I added enough. And I was like, because it's, what was that? I will say
the addition of the music.
I will use the system.
It added a lot.
That hyped the scene so much.
was amazing.
The music was good.
That
And here's the other
was
thing.
so good.
The song, all right, first off, it was sung in English, not English. Okay?
English.
And secondly, the dialogue made sense. Like, the lines made sense. The song made sense to what was going on here.
Yes, it's not like Google Translate and Opera GX had a baby and turned it into a song.
It turned it into an opening, yeah.
Yeah.
The OP
so
for
good.
the OP, the actual lyrics for the OP, like the OP is catchy for Solo Leveling, but like
But it does not make sense.
the lyrics don't
None
quite
whatsoever.
the lyrics are like this close to making sense, but they're just not quite 100%
Just ain't
there.
It's like Take On Me. If you ever actually listen to the words and Take On Me, you'll sit
to be
there and
fair,
go like,
to be
"That
fair,
means
there's a
nothing."
lot of lyrics. There's a lot of popular songs over here that the lyrics mean absolutely garbage, you know? So
for sure.
So I'm not faulting it on that, because I actually sat back and I was like, dude, how many songs am I a fan of over here that make absolutely no sense? And I was like, all right, fair enough. Yeah. But I have changed my ranking of songs for this season, though. Mashal is number 1 and Solo Leveling is number 2.
Hey, I gotta binge watch Mashal.
I'm
No,
hyped for
just the
Mashal
OP,
season 2.
just the OP, just the OP.
Oh,
That
I haven't
song.
started the second core yet.
Yeah.
For
Oh,
Mashal,
the
so I'm
second
just gonna
season.
binge watch
It's
it
not.
tonight.
It's not a core. It's a second season. I don't think it's.
regardless.
I don't think. Yeah. The
It came
second
out,
season is literally.
first-
if you
First season
hear.
came out last season too, so I
If
just
you
refer to it as
hear.
cores.
If you hear the. No, it wasn't last season that it came out. It was last year.
Yep. It came out, I think, in the spring or summer season.
Yeah. It was not in the fall. It was definitely not part of the fall line.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm getting my fucking time.
I know, because I actually watched Mashal when it came out.
Wow,
It was
one of
very
the
good.
animes that you actually watched.
Right?
Right? He kept telling me so much about it, so I was like, "Eh."
It's Saitama Goes to Hogwarts.
It is.
And it was great.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking amazing.
All right. So, my point is that is the best OP, and but that does not detract. But this was the best song so far in all of Solo Leveling. Like the OP is good, but like no, this song right here is the best. I'm gonna be using that to write to for months from now on. Yeah, I'm gonna be writing shit to that. It's a good fucking song. Like, if I can find the instrumental to that, because the instrumental's so goddamn good.
And
Oh, man,
also,
it's so
during
good.
that part, I love what they do with his face. Just black it out, make his eyes glowing white.
Oh yeah, 100% super manhwa styled. Super manhwa styled.
Only complaint I had about it was in one scene you see him walking up to the hunters with the dark aura around him, and then from their eyes you don't see it.
Oh yeah, because they don't
They're
don't
sitting
get it.
They're looking at him like, oh, he's just an E rank. What the hell is he gonna do?
It's
then
just
suddenly,
it's just him, and then
someone's head gets cut off.
My downer is that they did not end this episode where the manhwa actually ends for this volume,
Pain.
which is they padded it out too much, and all we got was a shot, just a pan up shot of his brother, and that's it. That's all we got. And I'm like, no, dude, we're supposed to have him say a couple of lines, and then you stop. That's that. It's like, bruh. What was really funny was watching a couple of people who've like read the manhwa but like kind of forgot some stuff, and they were like, "Oh, that's who that guy was. I fucking forgot." Like, because they had their like groups and stuff mixed up, and they thought, "Oh no, this was what was gonna happen with Jinwoo," and then slowly they're piecing it back together. Like, wait. Oh no, this is this! Oh shit! And we're like, yeah, motherfucker, it's this event! It's like,
kind of like how I was like 2 episodes ago.
It's so good. It's so good.
What level was Jinwoo by the end of that whole thing?
By the okay, so by the end, I only know where he's at by the spider, Because I don't know if he leveled up from killing the.
He leveled up
He
by
did,
killing the
because
spider,
he said it.
and he also
No, he
mentioned
said
to
he's
the
been
guys-
leveling up the
Spider,
whole
and then-
time. No, he leveled up from the spider. It never showed leveled up stuff every time he killed a person.
True, but
He
I'm
finished
still
the
gonna
quest,
say
and
he-
it did not show that he leveled up as when he completed the quest. It did show that he got rewards. It did not show that he leveled up from the quest.
I'm still going to say
So-
you got at least 1 or 2 levels from killing those
You can
the
say
500s
that-
before the final.
Well, the spider bumped him from like 18 to
Gave him-
21.
Yeah, I gave him 3 levels.
Yeah, he went from 18 to 21. So he was at least level 21. And keep in mind, he had not allocated any points, any skill points, any extra skill points yet.
Yeah, he
That's
didn't
because
have
everything
time.
he did before, he just put straight into strength, which like.
And
Yeah,
not just that,
but
like,
no,
he did not
but
have time
he'd
after
already
killing the spider.
he did not have time after killing the spider. So the automatic stuff just went. He got like everything went up by 1.
1
Like
per
all-
level.
1 per level. Everything went up 1 per level. But he'd also pumped stuff into agility recently too, and awareness.
And
That
that's
explains the
why-
speed.
That's why Dash was available to him and why he
Yeah.
was super fucking fast with it.
Also, I know the next major dungeon event that's gonna happen, and that's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we have one more thing, and it's gonna be our reunion with 2 of the characters that survived the temple with the statues. Yeah. So that happens, and that's when Jinwoo just basically decides.
If it's the dungeon I'm thinking of, it's the 3 survivors.
Yeah, there's 3 survivors. 2 of them make it out of this one, and 1 does not.
Exactly.
Yeah. There are three survivors of the temple. 3 of the survivors from the temple. It's going to be a reunion with them. I don't want to say too much more. Well, no, we have the spoiler tag up. I think we're safe with this. Yeah. This is the
haven't read
volume
manga
3
to
stuff.
Remember that?
That's on you. I'm sorry, dude. I'm gonna say it. This is the section with the prisoners, right? Yeah, the section with the prisoners, and it's the guy from the Hunters Association who, in the manga, you're just meeting for the first time. In the anime, you've already met him because they changed out a background character and put him in instead. So he was there when Jinwoo was in the hospital when he woke up. When they did the re-examination for his reawakening thing, and they were like, yeah, he's basically nothing. Dude,
He's weaker than a normal human.
Yeah, the guy that said that he was... No, didn't say he was weaker than a normal human. He said he's just barely above a normal human, because normal humans would be 0, and he's a 10. But, like, he is the weakest E rank. Yeah. So... He was the guy. He was the guy that was saying that. That's the hunter, dude. Yeah, that's him. He's the guy in the next arc, and that's gonna be interesting. I won't say anything more than that. But yeah, you may really enjoy that next arc.
Oh boy.
There, buddy. Because Moon, you're gonna have fun with that. All right.
Yay.
We'll get to last thoughts. And then we got to move on from this. So, final thoughts, Moon. And a rating.
Episode, had a lot of fun with it. If I were to rate this one, at least compared to the others, I'm gonna put it at probably the top of the list. This is episode 5.
6.
6.
This is
This
6.
is episode 6.
Yes.
God, I can't count.
How many shadows out of 10?
I would rank it probably. How many shadows?
Yeah,
Out of
we're
10.
going spoiler here. How many shadows out of
Let's
10?
give it a good 9 shadows.
9 out of 10
I like 9
shadows. All right,
10 shadows.
Fenris.
9 out of 10 shadows. Yeah.
It was a very cathartic episode, watching him take down the corrupt hunters. Though the first episode is still gonna be my God damn, this is so good.
We're not even to the
me.
fun stuff yet. We're
I
not
know.
even to the fun stuff yet.
I'm just saying, right now, the first episode is still better than this one, in my opinion. So I'm going to rate this one about 8 out of 10 shadows.
Okay, yeah. I think this is a solid 8 out of 10 Shadows as well. This had a lot of good moments, but I also was not a fan of the padding that was in it. But yeah, 8 out of 10 Shadows. Once again, I think a lot of the manga readers out there, even the ones that don't remember a lot of stuff going on about this, they definitely enjoyed this episode. But like we all know that it doesn't really get fun until we hear the words "arise." Like once Jinwoo starts using the word "arise," that's when shit starts going down, baby.
Oh boy.
Oh God.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And if you don't know what we're talking about, boy, you're not gonna find that out until apparently around the end of this season because they're teasing it already in the OP.
I can see it being like the last thing said in season 1.
I mean, it looks like we're gonna end at judging by how we're going through this, where we're going through a volume every 3 episodes, a volume of the manga every 3 episodes. It looks like we're gonna end on book 4. So that may, in fact, be the fight with Iggy. That may be the job quest. So, if that's what it is, then I'm here for it. All right,
I'm
time
just
to
saying
take down.
it would suck because if that was the last word spoken for season 1, and we would have to wait for season 2 to see what that means. Imagine how many people would be upset.
Well, I mean, here's
But
my
also
thing.
imagine how awesome that first episode of season 2 would be.
I mean, the first thing, the thing would be if we ended it on a rise and Ignis like getting up, you know,
Oh, I'm just thinking like him just a shot of him
saying,
saying arise and
and
then
then that's the
end.
end. And
Yes.
that's the end of season 1, or just or the end of core 1. I don't know.
Either. I mean, I can see it happening for either end of core 1 or end of season 1.
If that's how they decide to do it, those dickweeds. All right, we
It
got to
would
move
be.
on. We got to move on. All right, it's been half an hour. We got to move on to the actual news now. I think that's a good amount of time to talk
Yeah.
about the episode. So,
Yeah.
all right, Fenris, talk to us about what's going on with Funimation. Well, technically, this is Sony's fault. I'm not throwing blame
It
on Funimation for this one because
it's
Sony could have done plenty to have made sure that this got moved over.
honestly, Funimation was a much better and much more well-respected brand than Crunchyroll was. I don't
Hmm.
understand why they went with Crunchyroll over Funimation.
More well
But
known, more notoriety.
um
Yeah.
kind of. I
Hmm.
mean,
No,
it did
that's
start
exactly why. It was more notoriety.
Crunchyroll did start off as a pirating site before they went legit, so
Yeah,
but
it's also true.
so April 2nd, 2024 will be the end of an era. That is the day that Funimation is shutting down. Um,
The website.
the website, the servers, the app, everything Funimation shutting down permanently. They've already taken the Funimation branding off the side of the building and are replacing it with the new owners of the building from last I saw and last I was updated by some of my friends in Texas. But
Is it not Crunchyroll Studios or whatever now?
nope, the building is, according to my friends down there, the building got sold to a bank.
Oh, okay. So Crunchyroll Studios is located somewhere else then?
California.
No, there's a Crunchyroll Studios in Texas as well.
I'm just going off what I've been told by my friends down there
Okay,
and
so there's
the
no
pictures they sent me.
so there's no so Funimation Crunchyroll have not merged, they just got rid of Funimation entirely.
So the servers, like the entire library for Funimation, the servers for it, is now merged with Crunchyroll. So all the anime, all of your watch list, your account, you can merge into Crunchyroll, but Funimation,
But a
as of
lot of the voice actors and the dub for a lot of the Funimation stuff did not just haul ass and move off to California.
no, they did not. But
They have
they're still
they have
able.
a headquarters in Dallas.
They're
Fort
they're
Worth.
still able to record remotely.
Oh, they record from home in their home studios?
Some of my friends down there are doing that right now. Yes.
Oh, wow.
But as of April 2nd, Funimation is a thing no more. Downside to this, and one of the biggest topics of concern about the merger, any digitally purchased copies of anime or movies or anything digital through Funimation will be lost. Like, it is on the frequently asked questions page that we have linked. What is going to happen to my digital copies? We understand that you may have concerns about your digital copies from Funimation. These digital copies available on Funimation were a digital access to the content available on DVDs or Blu-rays purchased. Please note that Crunchyroll does not currently support Funimation digital copies, which means that access to previously available digital copies will not be supported. However, we are continuously working to enhance our content offerings to provide you with an exceptional anime streaming experience. We appreciate your understanding and encourage you to explore the extensive anime library available on Crunchyroll.
See, this is messed up because this is something that should have been taken care of
2 years ago when they
2 years
first
ago
announced
Yeah.
the merger.
Yeah, this is something that should have been taken care of back then, and I can't fault Funimation for this because this doesn't solely land on Funimation, and that's the sad part about this reporting is a lot of people are throwing this at Funimation's feet. There's not a lot that they can do about it. Sony's the one that owns the rights to this. They should have been the ones to do something about it, but Sony doesn't give a shit.
They just see money.
Yeah, they see, hey, it's better instead of you own it's not cool if you own the rights to this stuff and you have this. We'd rather you keep paying for the digital stuff and not be able to own it.
Or pay us again for it.
Yeah, or pay us again for it. But they're not even giving you the option of paying again for it because that stuff's not available. So all this is going to do is encourage piracy for this specific stuff.
Yeah.
That's
Unfortunately, yes.
That's all that you're doing because you're not making something a seamless transition. And what you're doing is you're hurting people that actually want to support like the official stuff. You're hurting people that wanted to support legitimate ways of owning and supporting the stuff that they enjoy and that they love. No, we haven't talked about anybody's GoFundMe. I don't have any of those topics up. I purposely did not put those in because there's like 4 different GoFundMes at the moment for multiple like actors and stuff in the industry. There's already enough depression in this episode, dude. There are several. Like there's 4 of them this week alone. And one of them got updated, went from hospital bills to hospice care. So like, dude, it's crazy stuff that's been going on. So like, if I reported one GoFundMe, I'd have to report all of them because I don't want to put one person's GoFundMe above another because, yeah, so just kind of better that I just not in general do that. If you want to shout it out, you're welcome to in the comments and let people know about it. That's absolutely fine. But like, we only have like a certain amount of time to cover a bunch of topics, and holy
a
crap.
lot of times we do tend to go over that allotted time.
Yeah, and I'm having a crackdown on that too. Like, yeah. So, Keegan, I'm sorry if I'm not able to cover a topic that you wanted, but also I have to point this out every week, and this is going to be my time to do it. If you want to recommend a story, you have to do it the week. You have to do it like during the week before we do Anime Church, not while we're live. We don't take stories while we're live too.
Isn't Saturday usually the cutoff for that?
Yeah, usually Saturday's the cutoff. Yeah.
give us time to actually go through all the articles, watch the videos, or
That way we have
anything like
time to
that.
actually
read
do our
them or watch videos. And
that way
so
we have
on.
time to do our due diligence, research the topic, and see if it's something that we should be covering, and whatnot, and who can actually. But yeah. All right, on to the next topic. Oh boy.
Oh,
Okay, so all right,
this
so
dumpster fire.
I watched this video, and we're gonna have to sum this up as best I encourage you guys to watch the full video. This was a dumpster fire. The studio behind, or is it the dev studio? Yeah, the dev studio. Because here's the sad thing: the publisher is the one that's been left, like flailing in the air with this like dumpster fire. It's not the publisher's fault. We usually rag on the publishers here, EA, all that stuff. And we're like, guys, give the devs a break. No, it was the dev studio that was really messed up, and it was the two guys in charge of the dev studio that were like a nightmare, apparently.
On that, it was actually just those two guys who
Yeah.
caused this entire fault. All the other developers didn't know the game was supposed to be an MMO.
Yeah. So they did not even know what type of build it was going to be. The two guys in charge would come in after like seeing some stuff and going, "Hey, let's add this to the thing because we saw this and we like this." And it's like, dude, you can't do that mid development. Like the whole process, which they would fire people just to keep people in check. Like just randomly would fire people to make other people afraid that they would lose their jobs.
And for anybody who's wondering, we're talking about the day before.
Yeah, the day before. That dumpster fire of a game.
A game whose premise had so much promise, and the original demo trailer for it, or gameplay trailer, like 3-4 years ago, looked absolutely gorgeous.
And they took a bunch of those trailers down to try and sit there and pretend like they didn't overpromise. Yeah. And it's these two CEO jerkweeds that don't know shit about game design.
And unfortunately, because of those two, they basically killed the careers of all of their developers because nobody's going to hire them.
Yeah.
Because they were associated with this game.
Yeah, unfortunately. But that may change now. That may change now that the word is starting to spread. Like if it's spreading to normies like us, it's definitely made it through. It's made waves through the dev community.
Sadly, I've been keeping tabs on this game for the last couple of years when my manager, back when I was an assistant at GameStop, had shown it to me. Because we were both super excited for it.
Right? It looked promising.
I'm just glad I got my money back.
Mm-hmm. I feel bad for the publisher who's just left holding the bag and has to do all these refunds and everything.
So, for anybody who doesn't know what the game was initially promised as, it was supposed to be like an MMO crossover of like The Last of Us meets The Division.
Right.
And it had so much promise. It looked wonderful.
Such potential.
But once again, middle to upper management fucks everything up.
Yeah. People who don't understand games should not be telling people how to make games. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. People who don't understand games shouldn't be in charge of a game studio.
It shouldn't be involved in game design at all.
Unless they're there to learn.
All right. We'll be here forever if we keep talking about this. But like, guys, we can only do so much justice. Go watch the video yourself. It's very, very important to go check out this video. I know it's kind of long, but guys, go check it out. Go educate yourself because we're not doing it even the smallest bit of justice. Like the amount of stuff that was dropped in here, like holy crap, the revelations. If we did not have so much stuff to cover, I would definitely sit down and go item through item on this story. That was what I initially was gonna do, and then all the Selen Tatsuki shit came out, and I was like, fuck, we're gonna have to cover this. And then like each day another thing about NijiSanji and the backlash from the Selen Tatsuki
minimum one thing happened.
Yeah, at minimum. Some days it would be like 3 or 4 different things happened. Yeah. So
I don't know how many times I was on Twitter this last week, and every day it's just like NijiSanji, Sink the Yacht, Selen, Doki Bird. Just everything was trending for
none of
days
that,
on
none
end.
of that. I haven't even been on Twitter. I'm just watching this stuff on YouTube. I'm just watching. I like on YouTube. I'm just seeing videos. Yeah, Niji's stock dropped by 10%, and I'm just like, well, guess you
Damn.
shouldn't have fired her so publicly, huh? You know, like my whole. Oh, we're not a black company. We promise. Uh huh. All right. So let's talk about some happy news.
Yes.
Guys, the Mushoku Tensei Season 2, Part 2 teaser dropped, and this time it had subtitles. So I think we may have talked about this trailer before, just lightly.
We talked about it
We did.
last week,
Okay.
but that was the only the Japanese without
Yeah,
any subtitles or context.
We kind of lightly talked about this. All right, now that there are subtitles for it, I want to hear your thoughts because I've already given my opinions on this already, and I know too much. So you guys, tell me what you think.
A lot more heartwarming than my basic understanding of Japanese led me to believe. I'm glad that the last scene with Sylphie and Rudy, really, I'm glad that my misunderstanding of that was corrected, and it was a lot more
Same.
heartwarming and
A lot more wholesome, yeah.
wholesome, but also horrible amounts of foreshadowing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They definitely focused on the more wholesome side of like everything. They're like, let's keep it happy and lighthearted and everything. And I'm like, I mean, if we're just covering, all right, we've covered volumes 7, 8, and 9. Now we're getting to 10, 11, and 12. For 10 and 11, that teaser trailer works. It's when we get to volume 12 that shit gets difficult. It's when we get to volume 12 that turning point 2 happens. And everything kind of flips. So, but here's the thing. I'm not talking about anything that hasn't already been shown, because when they showed the trailer for Mushoku Tensei Season 2, like last year before it even came out, or like maybe a little bit before that, they showed scenes from volume 12, and I'm just like, holy shit, they're spoiling the fuck out of this. Like, because if you know, you know. If you don't, you're just like, oh, that looks really cool. And I'm just sitting here like, why are they showing the end of the season? Like, they're showing shit from the end of the season, and I'm just like, bruh, that's not okay. But hey, we got another 12 episodes coming up real soon. I'm looking forward to it.
Woo!
Moon, what did you think of the trailer?
I thought it was really good. Very cozy, heartwarming. And just turning point 2 just looms over my head, and I know I'm gonna cry.
But before that, they have to get their house.
Which looked so comfortable, honestly.
That is
Because they
that
showed it in the...
that house. All right, so there's a funny story about how they get that house that I can't wait for you guys to see, because like them getting that house involves Rudy, Zenoba, and Cliff spending the night in that house, and some stupid shenanigans happen. And like a revelation is made, and then like, yeah, that is the Gray Rat home from that point forward. To now in the books, that is permanently the Gray Rat house. Yeah.
Cool.
So, yeah, that is the home. There's more people in it now in the books, obviously, but you know, that is the Gray Rat family home at this point. It's gonna be neat. I hope they do it well. There's man, it's really really funny when you first. I hope that they do it. It's just gonna be really interesting. The whole real estate market aspect of like finding the home and then them going and checking out the home and everything. Let's just say this. You know the game we play in Phasmophobia regarding real estate? It's kind of a little bit like that.
Y'all have never played it with me. Not once.
I've described it to you.
You've described it.
I still want to be in attendance for that and try to sell somebody a sell
I would
somebody a
love to
house.
do that. I think I could do it well too.
All right. So
God, I'm a great salesman.
let's move on. Let's move on to our next topic. Guys, major One Piece and Jujutsu Kaisen leakers have been shut down following multiple arrests in Japan. Yeah.
All right.
So, yeah, a lot of arrests happen to individuals suspected of infringing on Weekly Shonen Jump's copyright. Like, I mean, a lot. There's a police department that is showing like a bunch of like images of like JJK and One Piece and a bunch of other Shonen Jump titles that. And here's the thing: this is the problem that is happening with scanlation sites right now. They're getting their releases typically 1 to 2 days before the actual release comes out in Japan. So leaks are coming out days early online before it's supposed to be out. Shonen Jump leakers close sites and Discord servers after arrest. The arrests have sent a wave through the leaking community, with many closing down their websites, Twitter accounts, and Discord's servers through these leaks, which are where they're frequently spread. Alongside OP scans are other popular leakers and sites such as Scanpia and StarsUnion.com. While this is a win for manga publishers, closing down sites and Discord servers is likely only temporary and a preventative measure. Given that phones were seized and leakers were likely trying to shut down all avenues that lead back to them, given that the two members arrested were likely part of multiple, even rival Discords. Now, over the years, I would say that when it comes to things like Shueisha and Jump in general, Jump has done a lot in the digital space to make their content available and a wide variety of their content available. So I can definitely I'm definitely more siding with Shueisha and Shonen Jump, or just Jump in general on this one. I used to side with the piracy side because there was a lot of stuff that was not available here that was only available in Japan, and the only way we could watch it or check it out was scanlations. Hajime no Ippo, could only read that on certain scanlation sites. Now I can go to K Manga and read it. You know, there's a lot of different manga places where I can read my stuff officially and get my fix. So
my biggest issue with scanlation sites that go after like Shonen Jump, they have Manga Plus. You can read literally, if you're like me and don't have a subscription to it, you can read any chapter once for free.
Not to mention, I don't have to sit there with like a fucking page full of ad everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Also, not just that, but
It's nice.
scanlation sites are notorious for having phishing links or viruses on them.
Yeah, they are.
Mm-hmm. It's terrible.
Because the people who make those pay decent money, and it more than likely keeps the website operational for who knows how long.
And honestly, the subscription for Manga Plus is really pretty cheap.
Also,
$3?
typically, guys, the whole, as a whole, a lot of these people that are doing the scanlations and stuff, they're not doing it out of they're typically not doing it for the love of the content. They're they're trying to make that money. Like
Yeah.
they're making a lot of money off of you clicking on their page and going to view their pages.
I mean,
So
there's multiple ads that always pop up. I mean,
yeah,
they always ask for donations.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we got him. But yeah, try not to get fooled by these scanlation sites when they try to put the whole we're fans. We wouldn't be doing this if we weren't fans. Bro, you'd be
honestly,
promoting the here's how you know where the real fans are. All right, sites like and I know some of you are too young to know these sites, but like there are sites like back in the day there was Manga Stream, which was like one of the big official manga scanlation sites. As soon as Viz or Shonen Jumps, well, I guess at the time it was Viz, but basically Shonen Jump started putting their stuff up digitally and had like their library of stuff up there. They were like, well, there's no need for us anymore. There's actually an official way to read everything digitally, and it's really cheap. And they were like, guys, we're shutting it down because there's no reason for us to be doing this.
and not only were they shutting it down, they linked to the actual website, like the
Yeah,
official website, and said, "Hey, support this shit. This is what we were here for. Now we have it."
it was like the whole reason we were doing this was to be like, hey, Japan, get with the times, do this. Like, if you don't do this, then you're gonna like, you're gonna like start losing massive revenue. You're just losing, and Japan finally caught on.
And to be honest, like yes, a lot of scanlation sites have random obscure manga. Let's face it.
Yeah,
But there are plenty of official websites that have those
random
exact
obscure
manga.
manga. Yeah, there's a
Like
lot of
the
those.
one, the one that I've been going to lately, Bookwalker. It has a Japanese market and an English market. I've been reading shit on there that I haven't heard of, and most of the time it's $1.
Case in point, case in point. I just want to throw this out there to people who are like, "Oh, I love sports anime." Cool. How many of you have read? How many of you have read the manga for Baby Steps? Yeah. Now, how many of you know that the entire manga, all of the manga for Baby Steps, is up on K Manga right now? Or that you could read all of Ace of Diamond 1 and 2 on K Manga right now in its entirety. All of it. Yeah. This is why I was super happy about stuff when I found out that Kodansha was actually doing, like, we're going to put all of our Kodansha stuff out there. And I was like, finally, I have an official place where I can read Ace of Diamond and like, freaking, like, I finally got to finish because so many scanlation sites were like months, almost a year behind on Baby Steps. And I wanted to finish Baby Steps. Man. Anyhow. Yeah, I see this. I see this as an absolutely good thing. Yeah. Well,
Let's just hope that any other scanlation site that sees this will actually ask for permission to do what they do from the publishers.
yep.
Hope so.
Alrighty. New Jersey's AnimeNext 2024 event has been canceled. The staff of the New Jersey-based anime convention, AnimeNext, announced on Friday that it is canceling this year's event. Universal Animation Inc., the convention's parent company, recently faced circumstances that halted the staff's planning for the 2024 event. As a result, the staff concluded that it would not be able to execute an event the quality that everyone has come to expect or incorporate the feedback that came out of the 2023 event. The staff has stated that it was not at liberty to discuss the nature of the matter. In related news, Media Blasters Anime NJ event is experiencing difficulties as its Hilton Woodcliff Lake venue is being taken down. The staff is in the middle of looking into new locations and new dates. Wow. So this seems to be a convention that typically takes place in June that just got canceled. And that sucks for New Jersey anime fans. Because I imagine that NYC cons are not exactly that cheap. Thankfully, I did Comic-Con in press capacity, so was able to work that one a little bit, but yeah, it was crazy.
And this article also mentions media blasters, which I've been wanting to go to one of their events because, well, I buy from them frequently.
Speaking of events, and I know we're going to be talking about VTubers soon, so I just wanted to throw this out there. Kason, funny enough, is about 5 hours away from me right now.
Yeah, it's if she's not boarding a plane.
She might be. She was at Comic-Con this weekend in Birmingham, Alabama. Yeah. But yeah, she was over in Birmingham for Comic-Con.
Cool.
Yeah. I just thought that was pretty cool. I was like, oh, Kason, that was neat. She's also from Georgia. Like US Georgia. Around the Atlanta area.
Fair enough.
She claims Atlanta as her U.S. place of origin, and then she was also, of course, raised in Japan. So there's that. But
so,
yeah,
there's like 5 or 6 different cities that she could actually be from. I doubt she's actually from like Atlanta.
Yeah, I don't think it's
and
Atlanta.
That's only because Atlanta's.
I haven't looked it all up, man. I had to look up the specific stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd have to go to like her wiki and everything, and I haven't done that.
Fair enough.
All right, Moon, you want to take the next one?
Sure.
Since this one is definitely up your alley.
Absolutely. Sonic the Hedgehog franchise's live-action Knuckles spin-off series trailer reveals April 26 premiere. Paramount began streaming on Thursday a trailer for the live-action Knuckles spin-off series in the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise. The video reveals that the show will premiere on April 26 on Paramount Plus, and it will have 6 episodes. The series will stream on April 27th in additional territories on Paramount Plus, and it will then premiere in Japan later in the year. The series was originally scheduled for 2023. The show centers on the character Knuckles, with Idris Elba reprising the role. Eddie Patterson, Julianne Barrett, Scott Mescudi, and Ellie Taylor are part of the cast. Rory McCann has a guest starring role. Adam Pally reprises his role as Wade Whipple from the films, and Tika Sumpter also returns as Maddie in a guest starring role. The series has also cast Carrie Elwes, Stockard Channing, Christopher Lloyd, Paul Scheer, and Rob Hubel. The series takes place between the second and third live-action films. In the series, Knuckles trains Wade as his protege and teaches him the ways of the Echidna warrior. The film's staff is returning for the series. The film's director, Jeff Fowler, is returning to direct the first episode. Ged Wright, Brandon Trost, Jorma Tacon, and Carol Banker are also directing. Neil H. Mortis, Toby Asher, John Whittington, Toru Nakahara, and Elba are credited as executive producers. Oh, that's actually cool. Whittington is also serving as head writer, along with writers Brian Schachter and James Madejski.
Majestic.
Word.
Yeah.
Yeah. The upcoming Sonic the Hedgehog 3 live-action film is slated for release on December 20th. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 opened in the United States April 22nd and earned an estimated $26.5 million on its opening day, according to Box Office Mojo. So that's cool. I actually haven't watched that trailer yet. I also still need to see the first 2 movies. I need to see if my roommate has Paramount Plus. If he does, I'm gonna take a day to just watch those fucking movies. Because I love Sonic. And I heard Idris Elba did a really good job as Knuckles, so I am
very excited to hear that he's not only enjoyed the character, but so much so that he's one of the producers. He's helping to fund it. So like, damn. Um. Oh my gosh, and Knuckles is always a fun character.
I really enjoyed
Shadow
this.
and Sonic are my two faves.
I really enjoyed this trailer just because of the fact that it had the deputy, the stupid deputy in it as Knuckles' sidekick. I'm like, yes, more of this goofy guy because he's funny. If you haven't seen the first two movies, you don't understand what we're talking about. Moon.
I've watched the first one. I haven't seen the second.
I mean, we're apparently we have to do a watch party or some shit tomorrow or something. I don't know.
I don't know if I could do tomorrow. Maybe. Depends on the time. Tuesday, definitely.
Apparently we have to do a watch party and get him to watch the Sonic movies at this point. So I love the caffeine nod. He's very much the Cornholio.
Sonic.
Very much.
You have no idea how upset it makes me that I have not been able to see
I am
these
Cornholio.
two movies.
Here's the funny thing: Sonic the Hedgehog was the last. All right, Sonic the Hedgehog was the last film I saw in theaters before the world shut down. Because it happened in February of 2020. Very next month, the world shut down because COVID.
It still
dude.
doesn't feel right when we can say, the world ended or the world shut down and we're still here talking about it.
No, the world shut down implies that it came back, that it started back up.
Also, that the world ended, meaning the old world, the old ways. Ended.
I never said the world ended though. I
know,
was careful not to say
I've
that.
used that several times.
I
work.
don't.
Like,
but this looked
last
good.
time I watched the movie
I
was
like
before
this
the
trailer.
world ended.
I like this trailer. This looked very good. I'm not gonna get Paramount Plus, but I liked what I saw here.
Yeah, I don't want to get Paramount Plus either. I don't want to pay to watch ads.
Yeah, I'm not gonna pay. I'm not gonna pay for Paramount Plus just to check this out.
I mean,
but it does look good, and I'm looking forward to Sonic 3. So there's that.
Yeah, Sonic 3 is going to be the greatest.
Well, you'd have to watch Sonic 1 and 2
I only
to
say
know.
that because I love Shadow, okay? I played that game religiously.
You haven't even seen Sonic 1 or 2 first, so I mean, come on, man.
Look, we're getting Shadow. I already know it's going to be great, okay?
Sure.
Just leave it there. Just leave it there.
Sure. Read the next article, Moon.
Okay. Ooh, yay. Oshinoko shows how to make Valentine's chocolate for that special someone. Valentine's Day. It's the time of the year when love is in the air and people in Japan want to give chocolate to their beloved friends and colleagues. The ultimate show of love is the gift of homemade chocolate. But sometimes it can be difficult to decide what kind of chocolate to make for the holiday. Thankfully, one of Japan's largest confection makers, Meiji, has you covered with some Oshinoko-inspired chocolate recipes. Bunch of Japanese I can't understand. Meiji Chocolate revealed on January 5th on the official Twitter account for the Oshinoko series 6 recipes based on the characters Ai Hoshino, Aquamarine Hoshino, Ruby Hoshino, Kana Arima, Mimcho, and Akane Kurokawa. Wow, I got through all those names. Those include Ai's Bunny Fondant Au Chocolate with Gummies, Aqua's Chocolate Bark, Ruby Peon Valentine's Sandwich, Kana's Fluffy White Fondant Au Chocolate, Mimcho's Giant Apollo Chocolate, and Akane's Lavender Chocolate Terrine. All but one, the Chocolate Bark, are quite involved to make and really seem to be meant for that special someone or for yourself. Of course, Meiji suggests using their chocolate and other dairy products such as butter, ice cream, and yogurt for the recipes. However, finding Meiji products outside of Japan will likely be difficult. Using whatever's available is the best option. Also, the recipes use mass in grams for all the ingredients, so you may want to break out a scale to make sure you've got the right amount for each ingredient. The other major barrier to the recipes is they are in Japanese. However, a program such as Google Translate or DeepL can produce English language translations. With a little ingenuity, fans of Oshi no Ko around the world can make any of the Valentine's Day chocolates presented by Meiji. Along with the chocolate recipes, Meiji announced on its website that it will be gifting 20 followers of its official Twitter account who repost the Oshi no Ko and Meiji collaboration one of two original Oshi no Ko 5,000 yen, about $33, Quo cards. Unfortunately, the first Quo card is no longer available. Entry for the second ends on February 8th, and the cards are only available to those living in Japan. Running in conjunction with the Twitter campaign, Meiji is also gifting Oshi no Ko fans original A4 size clear files with a purchase of 3 or more Meiji chocolate products at participating stores. There are 6 in all and feature the aforementioned characters. A complete list of all products and stores for this campaign can be found on the Meiji homepage. Valentine's Day may be fast approaching, but there's still time to make some homemade chocolate for that special someone. Why not try the Meiji Oshi no Ko inspired chocolate recipes? Then again, who says you have to make those chocolates for someone else? That special someone on Valentine's Day could be yourself. I enjoyed reading that, honestly. Oh.
I don't know
but
why you
unfortunately, it
use that
does-
voice. I don't know why.
Because
but
it was a Valentine's Day thing, so it was just like, all right, go for fucking. I don't even know how to
why
describe
are you trying
that
to sell
voice,
me
but
snake
it's
oil
like-
chocolate?
Exactly.
So, Moon, I have one thing to
Oh.
say.
I am not
You take
buying
card?
a used car.
Oh shit. We
Alright.
take cash or credit. All forms of money is accepted here.
That's terrible. All right.
All right. My Hero Academia manga takes 1 week break due to author's health. The official Twitter account for Kohei Horikoshi's My Hero Academia manga revealed on Saturday that the manga will not have a new chapter in this year's 11th issue of Shueisha's Weekly Shonen Jump magazine, as originally planned on Tuesday due to the author's sudden illness. The manga is planned to return in the 12th issue of the manga on February 19th. That makes no sense. The manga is planned to return in the manga.
Wait, what? In the 12th issue of. Okay. Yeah. So,
The manga
someone
is
was
planned to
probably
return in the
tired
manga.
when they wrote that.
Of the magazine, I
Yep.
imagine they meant to say.
I
Well, yeah.
imagine so too, but I'm gonna poke fun where I can.
Instead of reading all the jargon about, hey, My Hero Academia launched back in the day in this, and we're like, nah, dude, if you want a history lesson on My Hero Academia, look it up yourself.
The only thing I will say is My Hero Academia turns 10 years old this July.
Mm-hmm.
God, I feel old.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And it has inspired 3 films, with a 4th in the works.
Mm-hmm. You think you feel old? Look up how old Naruto is now.
I don't wanna.
I still remember watching Legendary Armor Samurai Troopers as it released week by week.
Look up how old Reboot is.
Oh, God.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let's not. I don't need to go
Oh.
there. Thank you. That show is like barely older than me, and I don't like it.
Back when kilobyte, like, 512 kilobytes was an impressive amount of RAM.
Guys, if you think CG and anime is bad,
Oh yeah.
if you want to see,
Reboot.
Anyone who grew up with Reboot.
you have not truly seen bad CG.
Because Reboot was one of the first CG.
But here's the thing. Reboot made me appreciate CG. That's why everybody who's like, man, there's terrible CG in Marvel. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, dude. I lived through Reboot. I have not.
Yeah.
I have not begun to see bad CG in any of this.
Oh god, when everything looks shiny and metallic, then it's bad CG because you know they couldn't afford any kind of good textures.
Nope.
Like if one pixel is out of frame, oh no, it's terrible CG, and I'm like, bro, you don't know anything about CGI. You have not lived through the era of terrible CG. Which is funny because Reboot wasn't bad.
The story was great.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
Here we
This is happening. This is happening. Look what you did,
This is gonna be a big
Niji.
one.
Look what you did, Niji. The jacket's coming off. That's how serious this is getting.
Oh my.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't have
If he
any
had
of that
gloves,
to
they'd be
drink.
coming off too.
Oh, the gloves came off earlier this week. Okay. NijiSanji, who I will continue to regard as a black company. We'll talk about the facts and then we'll give our opinions. Fired their talent VTuber Selen Tatsuki this week. NijiSanji announced on Tuesday that AniColor has terminated the contract of virtual YouTuber Selen Tatsuki as of February 5th. Now, to be fair, I know a lot about Selen Tatsuki. I was familiar with her. I'd seen some clips. What I had seen from her, I generally liked. I know that she had put out a music video for Last Cup of Coffee, which I also knew was a song by Lily Pichu. I also saw that it got taken down, and I was like, uh-oh, what's going on here? Did somebody not get the copyright stuff? But no, as it turns out, there was a lot more going on behind the scenes.
Yes.
The announcement cited multiple breaches of contract and misleading statements on social programs. The memberships of her YouTube channel will be closed and all social media accounts will be made private. The company will gradually end the sale of merchandise featuring the talent, although AniColor noted that merchandise produced in 2023 may still be released in the future. Payment to the talent for merchandising has been settled or will be settled by the end of February. The announcement comes after Selen's absence from streaming following the release of her cover of live streamer Lily Pichu's The Last Cup of Coffee on December 25th. The video was made private shortly after its release. Here's the thing. It was already confirmed by Selen that she went and got the rights from the producer and from Lily Pichu. And then Lily actually confirmed over Twitter, doubled down, that yes, Selen has had her permission since August of 2022. Also had the producer's permission. Several artists that have worked on stuff for Selen and worked with her and Niji on projects involving Selen have started coming out publicly noting that Niji never paid them for their work and that Selen actually ended up having to pay out of pocket. In fact, Selen, who now is going by Doki Bird under her old see, they call them past lives and stuff, and I'm trying to be respectful of that, but I'm gonna say old account for right now. But streaming on her old account as Doki Bird. If you want to go check her out, please do. Show her a lot of love and support. She announced that she spent over, what was it, $2,000 or 20
Or
or
Last year?
200.
For last year?
Mm-hmm.
200,000.
Yeah,
She made
200,000.
zero profit last year.
Mm-hmm. Zero profit last year. Spent $200,000 on projects that she was on. Keep in mind that all the money that she's making, she only saw. She would only get 2% of that. Niji pulled the remaining 98%. The announcement comes after Selen's absence, which we found out was because she was hospitalized after she made an attempt to, yeah,
An attempt. That's all
an
that needs
attempt.
to be said.
An attempt is what happened. Um, the really fucked up part about this whole thing is that she found out the same time as everybody else did from that Twitter post.
Oh, she found out after the Twitter post when one of her friends let her know.
Yeah, she did not know that she had been fired. Now, this has irked and ired a lot of people as more and more stuff has come out. Now, the reason for her hospitalization was due to bullying from within, possibly from within other livers within the group or from management within the company. We can't be 100% sure. She has stated to not go harassing other livers and to just let peace be. She has stated that she did want to, that she did attempt multiple times to try to leave Niji on neutral grounds, and they decided this was how they wanted to handle things. And so she's not going full scorched earth, but she is letting everything just air out in the open. She's just kind of...
So, you mentioned Kason earlier.
Niji didn't exactly have... Yeah. Oh, there was a reason for that. Yeah.
So, I bring up Kason because Kason is the only VTuber from any corpo to be banned from collaborating with anybody from NijiSanji.
Mm-hmm.
That was reported, almost 2 years ago now.
By her.
She came out and said that it was a very toxic environment that's kind of promoted bullying.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just the fact that it was reported by a V Shoujo member 2 years ago and they didn't do anything to rectify it or change their internal ways says a lot about the company.
By the way, you know what she got fired for?
What?
She called Taiwan a country. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you mean the same thing I do to get a bunch of Chinese players kicked from the games that I play?
Literally, Niji has a big 20% of Niji's fan base is Chinese. Get over yourself, China. The people of Taiwan broke off, formed their own independent nation. They are a country. In fact, there are several provinces that should be their own independent nations. This one China stuff is nonsense. Anyhow. So, the termination notice included a statement regarding a music video lacking proper authorization, which has now been debunked. Selen posted on her Twitter account that she spent time recovering at the hospital from an accident during this absence. That is not what... Okay. Selen
That
debuted...
was managed... I think that was management trying to cover for it.
Yeah. So... as we continue going on, things have just gotten worse and worse for NijiSanji. Talent across the board has seen a decline of almost 6,000 in subscriber count. Like, just watch 6,000 people just unsubscribe. Or just leave Niji or Niji Talent entirely. Like, across the board. mass exodus there. Major brand deals that they had are going away. Different companies have officially declared that they are no longer working with Niji and
The
have
biggest
stopped
one
selling.
being Height.
Yeah, biggest one being Height. Go ahead and go into that if you would like to. Yeah.
So Height is a company that basically builds custom-made PCs with a limited edition tower. I believe they've partnered with HoloLive and VShojo before. I myself have been looking at their Persona 3 Reload case because, god damn, it's fucking beautiful. And it comes with a tarot deck and a bunch of other things, but that's beside the point. The fact of the matter is they're basically pre-built PCs, and they can generate a lot of revenue for VTubers. Problem, once again, is NijiSanji VTubers only see 2% of that versus the company taking 98%. And I believe I read somewhere in one of the very many threads that I followed on Twitter and other sites that they're the NijiSanji VTubers are basically considered independent, even though they're under the guise of a corporate.
Which is funny because they're considered independent, and yet NijiSanji owns 100% of their IP. Like,
yes,
your VTuber model and everything is completely, like, if you leave Niji, you can't keep any of your stuff.
Yeah, like, I know there's aside from Height, there's another merch company. I can't remember what the fuck their name is, and I'm going through literally
there were like 5 or 6 companies that just
one
bailed.
of them was a big name that does merch for like everything. They even started carrying Astroline merch recently.
The other thing that came out during this was a statement to their board members, I believe, saying that
firing Selen will have a negligible impact on their stocks.
Yeah, and as soon as that was made public, as soon as that little thing leaked and was made public, it made things so much worse.
So before they had like a 5 to 6% drop in stock prices. As soon as the fans saw that, or the Dragoons saw that, it dropped to 10% losses.
Like their
right
stock
now,
has just been crumbling.
Let me actually pull it up.
But also like the fan, like that's also when the companies started pulling out, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we're not working with this company anymore."
Yeah, no. Right now they're sitting at 3,330 yen per stock. Let me do a quick conversion on that. That is $22.31 US. At their height, they were before this. Let's go back a couple days. Fuck you, Market Watch. Let me go back to what I need. There we go. There's the forecast. So 1 month ago, they had reached 3820 yen. Let me get that conversion going. That was $25.59. So they've lost $3.28 in stocks, which, if you follow the stock market, especially following the whole GameStop debacle, and if you're still a ape diamond hands, that's not a small amount. I mean, $3, yes, the average person will think, yeah, that's negligible, that's blah blah blah. That's still a decent chunk. That's more than 10% of their stocks just dropping since this whole Selen Tatsuki firing.
Now, keep in mind that this is just Selen. This isn't even counting the fact that Pomu left recently.
This, not just that, but with the firing of Selen, they have, or one person from each of their generations has either graduated or been fired. In some generations, it's multiple.
In like the last couple of weeks, they've lost at least 6 or 7 talent.
It's
and
the
they have
joke
another
right
one
now.
on the way out.
I think that's Kaio, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he has one more.
Pomu Rainpuff literally just left, and that was a huge shock. And then they just drop. And like the crazy thing is, Pomu and Selen were like really good friends, and Selen couldn't even was locked out. Management locked her out of all of her stuff, locked her out of all of her accounts, so she couldn't even log in to say goodbye to her friend.
No. Granted, I've heard that she said goodbye in a Twitter
a Twitter
Discord.
DM.
No, it wasn't Twitter. It was Discord DM.
But
Saying,
like
hey,
she couldn't show up to her friend's goodbye stream to say goodbye to her or anything.
Which is fucked up.
Yeah.
To say the least. Like, yes, I don't want to say I understand.
And management did nothing. Management has done nothing to correct the bullying issue.
Management even stated that there was bullying to begin with, but they haven't done shit. Mm-hmm. They just fucking blamed Selen for it.
And fired Selen, which whatever.
Or as she goes by now, Doki Bird.
Doki Bird. Okay, now another project that they were working on, a Mario Kart event that they were working on, has now been delayed because of this stuff. Which whatever, don't care. I'm not a like Niji person. I understand what everybody's saying of, hey, don't pick on the livers right now. Don't pick on the other talent at Niji. Don't bully them. Selen saying that too. But I'm like, I'm not involved in this. I'm an outside party watching it, and I'm watching the yacht burn, and I'm just smiling, you know?
So there's only one other NijiSanji VTuber that I follow or watch along. Yes, I'm a lurker in goddamn near every fucking VTuber stream because
Matara Khan used to be in Niji.
I mean,
right?
I don't remember for certain. I just know she's V Shoujo, but I'm fairly certain she probably was at this point with weekly announcements of either graduations or firing from NijiSanji. It's not much of a joke. It's a sad truth at this point.
Yeah.
But Scarl is the only NijiSanji VTuber I follow from NijiSanji anymore. And last night I was watching her watch the first Gundam movie. I should say movie. It's a compilation video that they put out that was like 2 hours long of like the first third of the original Gundam series. And how much she fucking simped over Char.
Okay.
Yes. Regardless, NijiSanji itself, they need to do better, as Sayu said.
Getting to Doki real quick. She has started streaming up again. Doki Bird is, of course, the account that the liver who is formerly Selen Tatsuki is now streaming under, and she and her fans have come up with their name, which is hilarious. For those
because you can't copyright
hold on. Little context here for people who don't know anything about Selen. Selen was a dragon VTuber, and her fan name for she used to call her fans Dragoons. Well, she's still calling them Dragoons.
That's after a poll that was put out with a bunch of different names to call them.
Like Hooters.
One of which was Hooters.
Yep.
And she refused to refer to her fans as Hooters, which I completely understand, but still hilarious. And the other was Nesticles.
Nesticles, yeah.
But then she put out a fourth, completely random name, which was Dragoon, which of course the fans chose because it just made things easier.
Well, it wasn't random. It was a surprise.
Oh, sorry, random.
Yeah, surprise. Yeah.
Surprise, but
And then she's like, you can't copyright Dragoon because it's an actual word.
It's not just an actual word, but it's a
title.
Military term.
It's a military title. Yeah.
It's a member of any several cavalry regiments in the British Army, which itself is fucking amazing that she was actually able to get that again. And it's a fuck you to NijiSanji.
Yeah.
In a roundabout way.
Also, guys, she does have a manager now, a proper manager, and her manager is, I can't remember who else her manager works with, but her manager's pretty damn good.
Her manager is well known as a kind of background character for a lot of VTubers. And I can't remember if she had cried or was overjoyed at the fact when she was told that she should not have to pay out of pocket for any type of collaboration.
Yeah.
Or any type of, event or anything or sponsorship like that. Which just goes to show how bad NijiSanji treated her.
Once again, this is why I'm going back to Matara Khan. When she came over to VShojo and she was wanting to set up an event or set up some kind of stuff to do, she was getting ready to fight management. So she gets into a call with her manager and she goes, all right. And she starts talking about her idea and the manager goes, great, that sounds awesome. How can I help? And she was so caught off guard by that because she's like, oh my God, management here is so nice. Like, didn't have to jump through 12 hoops, didn't have to fight them. It was because that's what she's used to. It's immediate no's, I'm guessing, is how that went down at NijiSanji. And I'm like, good Lord. Like,
oh, I don't think it's immediate no's. I think it's like, yeah, we'll take care of it. And
never.
Then don't pay any of their artists for months, causing their talent to have to pay out of pocket to do what they need to.
But Mata's manager was like, all right, so let's go through an itemized list of what all we need to do, how much money we need to raise, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, so they like literally like did the work that a proper manager would do. Like actually act like a manager, which apparently is not something that happens at that other org.
Which, sadly enough, in regards to NijiSanji, I myself have actually auditioned for a VTuber role with them, and I've even played with the fact of being a manager for several VTubers, because I know I'm not that entertaining. Anybody who watched last week's fucking Gunpla stream will know I'm not entertaining by myself. I'm much more behind the scenes. I like to promote people. I like to help them, and overall, I'm better as a support class.
So come by my channel for the Fenris and Richie stream starting soon.
Which reminds me, I need you to send me that audio shit that you need me to edit, so that way I can it taken care of for you.
It's not going to be for a while.
I
don't even have video stuff for you to. Yeah.
I meant the technical difficulty stuff. I'm gonna start working on that for you.
Oh, I don't have anything for you at the moment then.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Record that shit and then send it to me. I'll start working on it for you. Other shit. Like I was saying, I'm much better as a background support character. I don't like the spotlight.
Speaking of people and auditions for NijiSanji, Sayu, aka Alejandro Sab, thank you for setting up that beautiful layup of a transition. I like, we're talking to the audience, but we're also talking to Moon, because I feel like Moon has no idea what half of this is. We're kind of explaining half of the VTuber world to him, or at least this portion of the VTuber world to him.
Yeah, I don't really know much about NijiSanji, other than now that they are a very shit company with some shit
black company. Yeah.
VTubers.
Oh, dude.
Also,
okay.
Thank you, Pleasant Sasquatch. Yes, shout out to the BC Sasquatches, BC Dragoons.
Dragoons.
Sorry.
There you go.
I don't know why it says Sasquatch.
By the way, I thought it was really funny that somebody was like, "I'm gonna dox you, Selen. You're from Canada." And it was like, fucking everybody knew that. Also, bro, do you know how big Canada is? Like, are you fucking kidding?
huge.
It's
Yeah,
about
right?
the size of
Shit.
the U.S.
Also, here's my thing, right? Selen, the reason I liked her is because she was a VTuber that played FPSs. I don't see a lot of VTubers that play first person shooters.
Not many do. They
Yeah.
all prefer like what's actually like relevant
Yeah.
and like popular, which
Variety
yes, I
streamer?
understand.
They're like variety streamers that do all these other things, and that's okay if she wants to do that too. But I was like, girl is on her Apex grind, and bless her for not doing Fortnite. Thank you.
Wait.
For real.
Or
So,
I'm sorry, Fortnite or Valorant, because everybody's on Valorant. Thank you for being on Apex. You know, showing Apex a
So
little love.
not speaking of Apex, like a day or two after she got fired, she got a box from both Apex and EA with a thank you. We want to continue supporting you.
Yeah,
Love
literally.
One of the things she got was a plushie Nessie, which is so goddamn adorable.
100%,
I want
100%. She still has a sponsorship. It's like she has a sponsorship, a proper effing sponsorship with Apex.
Which, speaking of sponsorships, she had 3 conditions for hiring her new manager.
Mhm.
The first and foremost was getting a PC sponsorship, which the manager, of course, said that's doable.
Easily.
And with Height doing all this shit with NijiSanji, saying they have other sponsorships in the work, basically alludes to hopefully a Doki Bird case, in which case, fuck yeah, no pun intended, I will buy it.
I'm waiting for all the Doki art that's going to come out, because you know she's going to get an upgraded model pretty soon.
Speaking of the art, she has given permission for people to release merch, just not mass-produced merch, of her character.
Yeah. Like,
It is
this is
amazing how much
crazy.
she loves her community.
This is crazy, because usually when you go independent, you don't get to take your audience with you. She took her whole ass audience with her, and she took her companies with her too.
I respect her
It
mods so fucking much.
Oh yeah, tell her about the mods that took over the stream, because this is how much Niji fucked up.
The mods took over a YouTube stream and a Twitch stream. The Twitch stream was up for, I think, like 6 hours before it got shut down by Niji. The YouTube stream stayed up for like 8 to 12 hours before it got shut down. And fucking, it's just mind-boggling what they did. Just everybody in there bashing NijiSanji for what they did. And on top of it, in the NijiSanji subreddit, everybody was promoting Doki Bird. And now Niji's slowly deleting them as they come in.
It's literally, the stream, by the way, wasn't a video stream. It was just a chat stream. Like,
it was
literally
a premiere chat stream.
It was a premiere chat stream. And all they did was just share the links to Doki's channel.
And
so like, by the time she went live, like she hadn't even gone live and she already had 200,000 subscribers.
She had one of the biggest biggest streams at all.
It was crazy.
Any independent VTuber with over 100,000 people in attendance to her. Technically, it's a re-debut stream, which is amazing. And right now,
can you explain? All right, I need you to explain this. I also need you to explain this other part, because this is a thing that is trending, and if I try to explain it, I don't think I'm going to do it justice. But explain to Moon what hashtag Sink the Yacht is about. Like, why are they talking about a yacht? Just explain that really quickly.
Hold on a second.
Assumptions.
I mean, your assumptions wouldn't be too far.
Obviously. Yeah, because
I need to look.
The ship that is NijiSanji.
No, that's not it.
Oh.
No.
I need to look up the fucker's name.
Yeah.
Riku Tazumi, the creator and CEO of NijiSanji, Do you know how many yachts he has, Moon?
No.
Last I checked, he's 26 years old, by the way. Started NijiSanji. He dropped out of college to start NijiSanji from everything I've learned about him.
Oh, that explains NijiSanji in a nutshell right there.
He dropped out of college at 18 to start NijiSanji from, like I said, everything I've learned and every video I've watched.
This motherfucker thinks that he is Mark Zuckerberg.
Last I checked, he had 3 yachts, and most of those were bought from the proceeds of all the VTubers of NijiSanji.
Yeah.
And he was looking at buying a 4th. Sink the yacht is basically the yacht he's currently on should be fucking sunken. He should drown.
Fair.
Because, goddamn, this motherfucker takes advantage of literally all of his talents and anybody who's working under him so he can better improve his own life by stepping on the people who make some money.
All right, so back to Sayu really quickly because we forgot to continue on that one.
Which,
right.
Before we continue that, Sayu, fantastic guy. I would love to actually sit down and talk to him and pick his brain.
Alejandro Saab. I first encountered him when he was doing reactions to like Team 4-Star and Devil Artemis content. He is also a voice actor. He does Genshin. He does some Genshin voices. He does anime voiceover work and game work. He does a lot of voiceover work.
Not just that, but this will be his 10th year fucking, or not 10th year, he's 29 now. 15th year of doing voiceover. He's been grinding this since he was 14, since he was a fucking minor.
All right.
To build something he can sustain himself on.
Okay, so here's the thing. He's been doing voiceover for a long while. He recently got into VTubing, and he auditioned. He had an interview with NijiSanji.
I wouldn't say recently.
Well, okay, he got into VTubing. When I say within the next... All right, when I say recently, I mean within the last 3 or so years. That's what I mean by
Fair
recently.
Enough.
Within the 2020s.
Yeah. Let me see when I saw you actually begin.
Okay, fine. Anyway, I'm only aware since the VTuber boom, as far as I'm aware, happened in 2020.
That's when the boom happened, but there were people before that.
Yeah, Bob wasn't aware of it. So I don't count it.
Okay, so 2021 was when he...
Thank you.
Recently.
Recently.
July 30th, 2021.
Recently. Anyhow, my point is...
Which is actually surprising.
My point is, he did an interview with NijiSanji, and one of their things was that, like they said, they want to own your IP. They want to own everything about you.
Before you continue with that, he had also auditioned for one other company.
Not gonna talk about that. Not gonna talk about that one at the moment. I'm gonna talk about just Niji right now.
It directly ties into Niji.
I understand.
As an example.
I understand. We'll talk about that after, but I'm gonna talk about the Niji first. In the interview with Niji, they wanted him to actually quit doing voiceover. Yeah, they wanted him to quit doing voiceover if he was to do VTubing with Niji.
That's stupid.
He said, they go, is that a line for you? And he goes, yeah, that's a line for me. I no. And so that, like, he had a stream where he just told everybody about all of it. And he goes, dude, I didn't sign an NDA for this, so we can talk about that. Yeah. Anyway. Now, please tell him about the other company.
The other company, Sayu had auditioned for, and they asked him about his voice acting. He basically told them, in a nutshell, that it took precedence over VTubing. They asked him if he would leave his agency and make that company his primary agency. they didn't want to stop him from voice acting. They just wanted to be his manager and agency. They wanted to help promote his voice acting because, dude worked fucking 2021. That was 3 years ago. 19. That was 16 years of him busting his ass to make a presence in the voice acting industry. So that way he could,
But also,
remain independent.
But also, Cody knows the agency that he's with, and he's like, "No, that's a really good agency. I understand why you
Fucking
say."
what was it? Atlas.
Yeah,
Atlas, dude. Atlas Talent Agency is one of the best voice acting agencies that any voice actor could get into. It's one of the ones that I myself am striving to get into, but I had that as a goal 10 years from now. Keep that in mind. I'm 32. By the time I'm 42, I'm hoping to be on their roster or have them considering me.
Right.
Like, it's not a talent agency you can just get into. You have to be fucking amazing at voice acting or well known in the voice acting industry for them to even, like I said, consider you to be on their roster.
Guys, please understand that as much as we're talking about this topic, that does not cover even the breadth of everything. No. Like, there's so much more. Please check out all of the links in the description. There's so many videos to go over. Like, everything that we're talking about, we have sourced. Just like every week, all of our topics, everything that we discuss, we provide links and sources to everything that we discuss. So you can read along with us. So that you can get more information when it comes to topics like this, where we're not able to give all of the facts and the details.
There is one VTuber, well, technical VTuber that I follow on YouTube that gives a complete backstory of NijiSanji and the founder itself and the CEO that I follow, and she gives a lot of input and like inside knowledge of fucking any and all VTubing. That's Rima. I think let me pull it up real quick.
All right.
Rima Evenstar, like, fantastic person. I would recommend watching her videos. She gives an in-depth like explanation of who the founder is and why it led to the downfall of basically the downfall of NijiSanji.
So, quick question, or rather, Moon, do you have any more questions, or do you have any questions regarding this situation? We've talked a bunch, but I'm sure there's probably a question or two that you might have.
Richie talked too much. I had a drunk rant. Let's face it.
It was about time somebody had a rant that wasn't me.
For real.
mean, we've been doing that more and more often, and
I'm okay with it.
I have liquid courage to help me this time.
Anytime there's a Sonic article, Moon gets to go on a rant.
Just a bit.
And then we get to rant at him until he watches the Sonic movies.
Accurate. Damn it. But no, I don't really have any questions. I'm just kind of following.
I mean,
because it's pretty understandable that NijiSanji is just a terrible company made by a terrible person who's just stupid, and that it's just gone very poorly for a bunch.
I mean, if he gets that fourth yacht, I know what you can name it. Douchebag.
Like you said, I don't remember if it's actually
the
or
SS
4,
douchebag.
Either way,
the HMS douchebag.
I hope there's a hole in it. In fact, I hope it catches fire while he's out at sea.
I remember watching not too long ago a video of another VTuber who was on a yacht. Like, oh yeah, this is NijiSanji's yacht. Where is everybody? Oh, there's an iceberg. We're sinking. There's the water. Well, I'm gonna jump off with everybody else.
Yep.
Also,
It was
like to
beautiful.
give you an idea. All right, we can count on two hands how many members there are in V Shoujo. Yeah,
they're very inclusive, like very picky about who they choose.
Yeah.
But
they're also
their management is fucking amazing.
Right. However, I don't even think I know how many members there are in NijiSanji.
Oh, dude, last I counted, there was over 20. The only
No, no,
one
no, no,
that
no, no,
I'm
no, 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 no. There's well more than that, because
like I said,
we're not
over
talking
20.
about. No, we're talking about. All right, are we talking about just NijiSanji En, or are we talking about
Listen,
NijiSanji in
Ricky.
general? NijiSanji India, NijiSanji En. Like,
Listen, Richie, I can only count to 23, okay?
I'm pretty sure they have over 200 members.
And the only one that I personally know of, like I mentioned earlier, like much earlier, is Scarl.
Yeah.
And she is great.
But like I said, yeah, this is really really shitty how things are, and it's just yeah. NijiSanji as a company, I'm honestly enjoying watch get everything that they deserve. This is kind of karma happening, and it could not happen to a more deserving company.
That's true, but I will state this. This is when it gets serious. Honestly, a lot of VTubers from NijiSanji have been getting a lot of hate and a lot of accusations that they were the bullies behind Selen. We don't know that. Do not, basically, by calling these people out and bullying them themselves, you're not any better than the actual bullies. We don't know who they were. And yes, Doki Bird, Selen, whatever you want to call her now, she's not revealing the names, which good on her because she's taking the high road here.
She's also telling people don't do to the other livers what was done to her, because she does not wish that on anyone else.
And honestly, with the way any color / NijiSanji's management is, they will throw their talent under the bus to save their jobs. So I'm more along the lines of thinking that it's management themselves and not any liver that was bullying.
I'm 100%
Doki
willing
Bird.
to bet it was management. I'm 100%
So
willing to bet it was management.
yes, I understand where people are unsubscribing and from livers and refusing to support NijiSanji. Yes, like I said, I completely understand that. However, there are some people in NijiSanji who rely on the subscriptions and that to make a living.
Yeah, that is
That
their
are
livelihood.
completely innocent of this. I'm not saying support NijiSanji. I mean, unfortunately, supporting the liver by subscribing to them or donating to them, you're going to support NijiSanji in unfortunate. I can't think of the word, but basically,
If you're a
fuck you,
liver,
alcohol.
if you're a liver for NijiSanji, may I make a small suggestion?
Jump ship.
Hololive is this way.
Hololive, V-Shoujo,
V-Shoujo, independents are this way.
independent. Yes, that's an option. Otherwise,
there are fire exits located.
There's also a little known, kind of, I want to call them indie, but they're not really indie. But another VTubing corpo called Idol.
Yeah,
that is fantastic. I follow Rin Penrose. Great fucking VTuber. Her mom or his mom is hilarious. Jin is amazing. Jin would be a fantastic VTuber herself, but she doesn't want to be. Idol is also a fantastic company to go to. Yet they're little known, and most of their talent is on YouTube. But they're better than a company who makes you pay out of pocket to cover their own expenses that they promised, but don't actually cover. Do not spend $200,000 a year out of pocket and make no profit just to continue to be a VTuber.
absolutely,
It's not worth it.
Do that.
as somebody who has problems with self-appreciation and problems with self-deprivation and depreciation, you are worth so much more. Do not let NijiSanji tell you otherwise.
Alrighty. Well, that was an interesting place to kind of wrap things up, considering we started out all happy talking about Solo Leveling's new episode and how good it was.
Oh yeah.
It just shows you how wacky Anime Church is, man. We could start off talking about some really good shit and end on some really crazy shit. But hey,
It's amazing what happens when a lot of
let's sink the
two-thirds of us
ship,
are
everybody.
very
Let's sink the ship.
passionate about a project
All right. Anyway,
and start drinking.
I'm kind of an outside observer on this. I'm sitting there watching the fire, holding a marshmallow on a stick. That's me. All right. I'm looking at the chaos and I'm just smiling and I'm.
So, speaking of chaos,
This is some great chaos.
One last thing.
Good job, everybody.
Fucking Pomu on the last day she was Pomu,
Uh-huh.
had scheduled 30 days of Good Morning Pomu on Twitter that got canceled.
Oh yeah.
Because she wanted everybody to, continue the Good Morning Pomu because it's Pomu. She was a fantastic and wholesome VTuber who loved her fans. And yeah.
Well, we gotta go, guys. Thank you so much. We will be back tomorrow at 8 p.m. on Twitch for the Slime Light Novel readings as we pick up with Chapter 3. That would be fun. This time we swear we're not going to make Shim read everything. We're actually going to start off with Moon reading. That'll be fun. Moon gets to start reading. That's going to be really interesting. I get to do the whole ladies and gentlemen of the congregation and be like, Moon, you read. Yep. Shim gets to have a break. No, Shim gets to have a break tomorrow. Yep. I may be on my channel, Richie Robert 16, over on Twitch. Later this evening, I have to stream some stuff to try and raise money for some car repairs. Yeah. And I'm also trying to take my niece, car repairs, and I'm trying to take my niece to Five Guys Burgers and Fries. She has never been, and I'm like, if I wasn't broke. So I'm like, internet to the rescue!
So much.
Well, internet to the rescue. Well, I know she's not going to eat a whole meal, so we're just going to order one meal and kind of split it. So, yeah.
Especially because, there's the small cup of fries, and then there's fries and fries and fries.
Yeah, exactly.
So you say small cup of fries, but it's a fucking bag of fries.
And it's a bag of fries, but also she eats very small, so I know she's not going to eat the whole burger. I'm going to give her a quarter of the burger, and then I'm going to have to eat the rest of the burger. So, yeah.
And then
I'm really good for that.
This Saturday the 17th will be another Gunpla stream from me and Royce.
And
hopefully.
And the upcoming next week we'll be doing, of course, another Anime Church, and then 2 hours after that we should be, if we have the people for it, which I think we will be starting up the Solo Leveling light novel stream, or the Solo Leveling manhwa stream over
live
acting stream. Live acting! I like that. The manhwa live acting stream over on our Twitch channel, which of course you can find in the description down below. So twitch.tv/fat_dog_studios. Thank you guys so much for coming by, hanging out with us. Really, really appreciate it. Once again, thank you for coming to Anime Church, the only church where cosplay is not only encouraged. Not only.
Is not only allowed, but
highly encouraged. Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm Richie Roberts, your Minister of Science and Technology.
I'm Moonlight Sparks, your Minister of Arceology. Praise Arceus.
I'm Fenris Arumi, patron saints of snackos and alcohol.
Apparently.
Have a good afternoon, everybody. K-san, hope you have a good flight back home.
Bye.
Bye-bye.